no matter which way their opponents go. Both teams permaban is Vertigo as well, and neither of them banned Vertigo in the first phase, which also shakes things up.
Yeah, I think that is always a factor when you share a permaban. Usually you leave it to the second phase and maybe try and get to a point where you force your opponent to ban it so you can make a decider come through that you maybe like a bit more. In this case, Dust 2 is definitely one that Navi Junior favour a bit more. Again, going off of win rates, you might think this one is pretty comfortable for Navi Junior. I wouldn't expect that to be necessarily the case, but with how they dispatched the likes of Amcal and OG relatively recently, and their Amcal aren't exactly on decent form recently, but when it comes to dispatching OG, who just did so well at the Thunderpick World Championship, I think that's a really impressive win as well. We know OG aren't incredibly consistent, but it deserves to be said how excited I am about Spirit Academy, that Navi Junior have basically beaten them in the two most important games they've played against each other in recent times. There was that ESEA Advanced Grand Final where Navi Junior won. That got them through to ESL Challenger League next season. They're winning the important matchups against my other favourite academy team at this level and winning matchups against established rosters. So yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm saying Navi Junior 2-0 here.
Okay. I don't think that's completely unfounded. I mean, they did take 3 maps to beat Amcal, but they 2-0'd OG yesterday. And with the form that we've seen out of Aurora lately, it feels like that result, there's a good chance of it happening. Navi Junior are in such a good place at the moment. They're so efficient. They've got really good synergy, and you know that they're grinding. You know that these kids are working incredibly hard to continue to hone their craft. And then you combine that with the team of Aurora, who, you know, they've been around for a while, and there may be there's some frustration in their camp at the moment. It means that, yeah, Aurora could have a very tough time of it here in the series against Navi Junior. But one word, Deco. And Deco, well, I'll tell you one thing, Trav, he's not going to be keen to lose to an academy team today, so he might just switch it on, you know.
Always could be the case. We are live in the first semi-final for the Hellcase Cup number 11. Already, Deco, he wanted to try and force the issue, and unfortunately, your lad is not alive anymore in this one. Lucky trying to push forward to deal with Krabeni, pushing up toward Red Room, but already Navi Junior have the advantage and looking to group up toward B. And unfortunately for Aurora, they've gambled incorrectly here. They're looking to maybe push 3 toward mid, go for a fast flank or a fast pick toward this position. They could manage to deal with Krabeni as he's stuck in toward Donut. Will he be aware? He won't. So 4v4 as the bomb will make its way onto the site.
Does kind of just give a bit of a false sense of information here for the CT side with the direction Krabeni was headed in, as the bomb plant's going to come through over towards this B bomb site. And that kill on Kenzie is actually a really big frag, because look at how much space it now affords them in the post plant. Able to push down long, up short as well. Double flank coming up ramp, but Demon's watching for this. Oh my god, Plax just gets his head ripped right off, and Lackey a little bit concerned, a little bit worried, and understandably so. They don't have a kip between them. Surely this is impossible.
Ooh, Norby, some lovely taps here, though. Lackey will get one more. Time is actually still available for them to get this defuse in, so it's down to the clutch. 1 versus 2. 10-second defuse, of course. It's going to have to be Lackey hitting the headshot. And you know what? They have got it.
Wow. I literally said I think it's impossible for them to make the retake happen in the 4 versus 2, but Norway and Kenzie combined. Some beautiful taps being landed from Norway in particular there to give them the space to actually get into the bomb site. That certainly shakes things up.
What a win. What a win for Aurora. It looks so comfortable for Navi Junior, as we would expect. They're going in for the 4 spy, but there we are. Okay, so I said I'd shout out the person in chat, right? The name is Phobia, F03BIA. The J from DJ, the O from food, and then a quick ending GS. So like J. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, though?
I don't really, to be completely honest with you, but I searched a video on YouTube. Jugus.
Okay.
Jugus. Now, I don't know if that's the same as how our friend helped us out. Jugus is how I've got it, though.
Okay. Yeah. So
it's fairly easy to pronounce as well. Jugus is
because that is
doable.
The J.
I can handle that.
No, that is the J from DJ. The O from food threw me off a little bit, though, I will say. But
maybe it's Jugus. It still kind of works, yeah. Jugus.
Yeah, I think that's actually not bad. If we got that terribly wrong,
Phobia. Yeah.
And please let us know.
Well, then follow us on Twitter @HayesCastings @TravCS.
I've been paying a lot of very close attention to Navi Junior in recent times. Maybe not necessarily perfect pronunciation of some hard to pronounce names though. So apologies
Yeah,
for
I'd
that.
say that's the part that matters the least, though. In all honesty, so.
Maybe, yeah. We'll start with Jugas though. So that sounds rolls off the tongue a little bit easier, I think, than what we were trying to do earlier.
It does make sense that, that I've always thought that DZIU combination creates like a kind of sound, like,
yeah.
so yeah, exactly.
Like you get in like a really nice meal, you know? Like you get like a what's it called? Like that sort of type of sauce, like a jus. It's like a French
jus,
word
yeah,
or something.
Exactly. Yeah. It's almost like a little gravy kind of thing.
That's it, yeah. I watched my fair share of MasterChef. Kenzie.
Oh, yeah, me both. Which one, Australia or UK?
UK for me. UK's a banger.
Aussie one clears, man. Here we go. Force 5. Navi Junior after they get the bomb chance in the pistol round that they lose, and they're just trying to brute force their way into this B bomb site. Oh my goodness, his body's littering the floor. Klax only has 11 health, and he's all of a sudden the last player left alive.
Health is not great for Krebeni, and Symmetry, of course, is in a position right now where he's got the M4 picked up after getting that all-important 1 kill to make it a 2v1, and they can herd the bomb over toward A. So there's no risks, I think, now. The bomb has been safely traversed over. Klax on 11 HP. And the force spy, how often does it work? Very, very often. It's going to work again here. Klax will probably just try and save what he can find. There is an M4 on the floor there, I think. All got able to pick up and save if he's allowed to.
Great response from Navi Junior. I mean, they probably feel a little bit aggrieved that they end up losing the pistol round, considering the position that they were in the 4 versus 2, and the bomb had ticked quite far, but they don't dwell on that. Force by immediately afterwards. A lot of impetus coming into this round here as well, as they just force themselves into this B bomb site, winning out some important gun duels. Norway again with the multi-kill, but this time his efforts go in vain. Klax doesn't even attempt the retake because he's so low. So Navi Junior, I mean, you could actually make a case that losing the pistol and then winning the round afterwards is a better way to go about things, right? Because, wait, I'm lying because it means Aurora still have that extra counter round loss bonus. Just ignore me. You're gonna have to do that a lot this cast, guys.
But it makes sense though. We've said that quite a lot in the past. Like sometimes when you win that force bar in the second, and then Aurora will lose their reforce, the force by wars will get underway. It can really hurt the CT economy long term. Maybe even the first gun round won't have maybe full utility what you want. So up to see, and no hesitancy whatsoever from Cemetery. He's removed both Norvi and Kenzie, the duo I mentioned before the game. Not as powerful as they once were, perhaps, and the MAC-10 will deal with both of them.
No, you're right, Trav. I should have backed myself the first time round. When you lose the pistol, you get 2 counts of round loss bonus. So Navi Junior get both those counts, and then Aurora lose the round straight afterwards. They condemn to 1400. So that force spy is a lot worse off. So I was right the first time round. You had me. And Navi Junior, well, they have this B bomb site right now. Once again, 3 rounds in a row, just hammering home on the side of the map. You can see how efficient they are in taking control, man. It's not like they take long at all. There's a very clear and direct plan for them to get the control, and landing some good shots as well. Cemetery, he has gotten 3 kills here against the force spy.
Yeah, all with the MAC-10 as well. Nice to add that money to the bank. Yeah, don't worry about these. These little micro mistakes. We've had a long year of casting. We're winding down now. I think I've got like 2 or 3 days left before the RMR cycle and major cycle begins. So mistakes can happen.
7 best of 3s left for the year for me, Trav.
Right.
And I reckon I've done somewhere in excess of 140 maybe since July.
Yeah, and I know I've had
about
like
4 months.
I know often we have 2 best of 3s a day. Very rarely we'd have 3, but I know I've had maybe 140 broadcast days, full stop, this year.
Exactly.
So, yeah. It's
been wonderful. It's been lovely.
It's been wonderful. We're not complaining. It's been wonderful. It's been lovely to be involved with so many of these tournaments and get to follow some of these teams that trying to work their way up in the scene. I think I have 4 left. If you include today, it is 6, but other than these, today, I've got 4 left. Now the eco for Aurora should be pretty comfortable for Navi Junior here to recover this. Echo still has that scout, sure, but incredible individual performance from him to deal with anything on Navi Jr. They've got one tag on Demon after that. He comes through, but that could be an issue. So we've had a disconnection and damage has been done, so there'll be no round restart here.
I feel like if it was going to happen in the middle of a round, this was the round you would want it though for Navi Jr. because you're playing against the Eco, so shouldn't be a huge problem for them. There's a flank coming through here as well, and I wonder, I guess Symmetry's gun's been dropped on the floor here, so Lackey could go back. I think it's just a Mac 10 though. Oh man, this flank is going to be coming into effect while Navi Jr. still transition into this B bomb site. No one's looked forward. Deco potting off a couple of shots here, not going to connect on anything through the smoke, and now the flank will be considered. Good awareness there from Demon.
Good catch. Still two more USPs here. That was Norvi and Kenzie who were the whole time in toward Jag, but no one really ever went close to there anymore. Krabeni had it under lock and key. They moved away when Krabeni was moving forward. And Deco hits a nice shot. So, yeah, when Nori and Kenzie left that position, that's when Krabeni moved forward. And actually works out well for Deco, getting himself into that position, grabbing the AK. The aid of his nice shot with the scout, and now Norvi and Kenzie's job is to try and find maybe that scout. You could keep it, who knows. I've got an M4, there we go. Actually, still got that from Clax, I believe. So, nice. Where did, I wonder where Symmetry died, actually. I don't know if we can see that on the map.
No, you can't. You know the box? If you go up here from where Norway is on the right, inside double doors.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, he was behind.
I did miss that when he actually disconnected, so... But he's back
That's
already.
why I thought Lackey on the flank might be able to scoop up the gun, and then that could be a problem. But like I said, I think it was just a Mac 10. So all's well and ends well. As you say, he's back already. He's going to be dropped an AK by his teammates. Navi Jr. very happy with the start they've been able to piece together as we head into this first gun run. Now, I'm pretty keen to see what this Academy team is going to bring to the table here in this first gun run. How do they go about their business? Could be one of our faves, Trav. Could be one of our faves. Early playing towards the A bomb site, always a favorite of Trav and I, and it's even going to be Makaze who takes the attention towards middle of the back of getting that kill, and that only makes the strat a whole lot better because that's going to keep the focus of the donut player in towards mid instead of A.
Yeah, that is such a good call. Sure, they will lose to Lucky, but he will go down in the end. Will Lucky. Kenzie returns with that kill on Krabeni, and now the bomb can go down, but Deco has crept out. And he wasn't heard at any point. Doesn't get both, and it gives Demon a glimmer of hope here. Has a little nade to fade away with, and a remolly for back default. I think he realizes that both Norvi and Kenzie are coming through from CT now. So he's positioned himself in a really good spot. Maybe not the first position you pre-fire. They can be further back behind the box, and there we go. It's glorious concept placement on Norvi. A great flash. Oh, but he's misjudged his move back behind the box because he was blind. That flash actually is the thing that catches him off guard, and Kenzie will recover the round.
It's such a fine margin because it was also nearly the reason he wins the 1v1 against Kenzie. He comes so close to finishing off the kill, but he isn't able to. And then, like you say, when he's completely blinded, he isn't able to tuck himself in behind the box once again. So Kenzie will get the round done. Good work from Aurora there, despite the fact they lost the opening pick in middle and they were very vulnerable to that push into the A bomb site. They're still able to make it work. Lucky gets an important frag and the retake comes together. So Aurora draw within one. AWP on the table now for Deco. First time we're seeing the sniper rifle in play here. That first shot from Demon was quite tasty though.
Yeah, I felt it. I felt the clutch after that. And Jugas went down. I was like, oh, that shouldn't have been the push that came through on that timing maybe. So I've already got control of it. Here comes the next round and the fight in mid. Lucky. Oh my goodness. He hadn't had the USP out to try and finish that kill, but Makaze had like 2 bullets left in the AK. Plays with the smoke, somehow gets the headshot on Lucky. That is some of the star power that we've come to expect to see from him, and Lucky gets embarrassed a little bit there.
Oh man, and Deco's timing couldn't have been worse as well as he shifts away from the cave angle, and it's something you just have to do. The timing will be much better though, as he finds Krabeni making his way up short, and Clax has gotten a kill in the meantime, so certainly does kind of turn the round on its head a little bit here. Maybe a smoke flash combination. They don't have another smoke to try and block off short, so Deco on the angle, he can't do much about the bomb planter. But there's still a good man advantage here for Aurora to piece this together. Oh, Demon's first few shots missed the mark. Symmetry certainly won't, though. He puts Deco 6 foot under, and he knows for a fact there's one coming through from Cave. Doesn't know that both are going to be here, though.
Oh, Aurora, some really good work at jiggling out these positions, and there we go. Klax gets the kill. Both positions there for Aurora. The little jiggle in toward the cave from Jag position, through the little murder hole, I guess we could call it. That's what reveals the information on the first player, and they kind of ditto that for the final kill on Cemetery as well. So it's a very small factor with how they move their way into those positions, but it reveals the info, means they can pre-fire them, means they can jiggle the angle and maybe try and take the kill where their entire player model isn't facing, and makes the crosshair placement of a Navi Junior player a lot easier. And it's just movement really that gives Aurora a little bit more comfort in those final 2 kills.
And now the Academy team's going to empty their pockets coming into this next round, so a pretty good chance for Aurora to not only get the lead, but extend themselves with that lead as well. You win against the Force 4-3, Anti-Eco 5-3. Navi Junior, they're not playing slow Counter-Strike here at all. Every single round, they're venturing, whether it's up ramp into B or through middle, maybe through A main. There's always moves being made from the get-go. And then they pounce. As soon as they take contact with Klax, they just completely overwhelm him and gain full control of this A-bomb site.
I love the pace. So active, and they've played a lot on this map. I'll get into their results after this after plant has made sure it's completed. Yeah, I think they might going to be calling it off now. Aurora, Deco with the AWP can't really afford just to leap in. Then they have this one kit. Lucky has only got an MP9 on this big flank, and that is probably the biggest issue. If he had a rifle, maybe he could dual Symmetry a bit easier. Just playing aggressive exits here. Here's Lucky. Nice angle. Might be hard to pre-fire. You don't expect them to be in the middle, do you? You expect them to be on the left or the right. So I like what he did there, but he only gets 1. And Matt, I want to talk about some of these results. Because
Go ahead.
At one point, last month, up until the end of last month, I guess you could say the whole of last month, to be fair, the whole of October, at one point they had an 11 win streak on Ancient. They lost a couple since then to 9 and 9 Pandas, which isn't the end of the world, but they've beaten Amcal, they've beaten Rebels, they've beaten Favbet, and at the end of that 11 win streak, they had 2 13-0s in a row, but with 2 days in between them. Like, wow. Mate, Ecstatic and Cybershock, sure, you know, they're not they're more tier 3 than tier 2 opposition.
Very impressive. And Cybershock as well, I would say. Look, to 13-0 those teams is crazy because those teams both have individuals who are very talented, where you'd imagine that someone like Fenneman can just pop off in 1 round and win your team 1 round. So to 13-0 those teams is still really impressive. Yeah,
I completely agree. I kind of, the point I was going to touch on, because I think they're tier 3, not tier 2, but it's still incredibly impressive to 13-0 2 teams in a row within 2 days of each other. And it's not exactly like random teams in like advanced that they're playing there. There's just some established teams at the level that play these cups very often. So yeah, very, very impressive. Look at the speed once again. Deco can only hit a leg shot. Run down by the Mac 10. Kenzie on the angle, but he's going to be mollied off. And Navi Junior just understand this map so well, and the timing.
Yeah, they really do just have it on a thread right now. This is their home ground, clearly. Super comfortable on the map with the way that they push into that B bomb site. Very good read in the round as well. No one was home for Aurora. Not a single player home. Cemetery's going to disconnect again, which is very concerning. Hopefully not a sign of things to come throughout the rest of the series and something we can iron out early on. Kenzie's going to walk straight into Krabeni. Doesn't expect him to be there, so more economic damage inflicted. And Navi Junior, they're just smothering Aurora right now. They're absolutely smothering them, not giving them any room to breathe, any time to set up and get information and try and get ahead of the round. It's just brute force right now.
And we thought Aurora were going to get ahead of the game a little bit with how they were looking that sort of stage a couple of rounds ago.
Yeah, that 3-all scoreline. Yeah, true.
We thought they'd be 4-3, maybe 5-3. Not the case. The recovery is instant from Navi Junior, and they've got a decent bank to fall back on now as well. But very impressive. And it's not only Ancient that they've looked so good on recently as well for Navi Junior. That 11 win streak is very notable, but they're one of the best teams on Anubis right now too. They've sort of overtaken Zero Tenacity in that sense at this tier of CS. Again, it's tier 3 cups, but when you're farming tier 3 cups that convincingly, and especially fellow academy teams, and then making the step up to beat the likes of OG, beat the likes of a top 30, top 20 team, is incredibly impressive on more than one map. Anubis is that map. They're really good on Dust 2 as well. We're going to see Dust 2 if we do go to a third in this series. If Aurora are able to do that, because I do think Mirage is going to be fascinating. This one is by no means over, but that map 2 we have of Mirage with Junior, with the players they've got, I really think it could be very possible they take this one 2-0, but we shall see.
And it feels like with the names on paper, Aurora should be able to have the firepower necessary to go toe-to-toe with Na'Vi Junior Mirage. But when you look at these players, not just in terms of who they are in general, but the current form that they're in right now, then I don't know if there might actually be more firepower here on Na'Vi Junior than there is on Aurora, which is just such a crazy thing to actually say. But you can already see it in these first 8 rounds that have been played with the way that they're entering into these bomb sites, with how good they're looking posted up on angles, that first bullet accuracy as well. So I'm pretty worried about Aurora going into Mirage as well.
Yeah, it is weird, and that is why I sort of made the statement the other day on Twitter that I just think that Na'Vi Junior and Spirit Academy are the most exciting in the entirety of Tier 2 right now, because you've got so many teams who are, I would hesitate to say in a lull, but they're mostly focusing on the RMR. I think it goes without saying. Aurora will be one of those teams for sure. Nine Pandas also one of those teams that we saw Aurora play against yesterday. And it's the future talent that is so evident here, that especially now Na'Vi are an international team, maybe you could make the argument that if they go on a big slump in the future, they, rather than go for someone that is established elsewhere and maybe is a bit more of a safe option, they could come from the upgrade could come from in-house, right? Just like it did for Spirit Academy with their main roster now, with Zontix and Donk, obviously. So
yeah,
options, and it really helps an organization financially as well if you can upgrade an incredible talent from an in-house academy project.
Did you watch the Snake and Banter episode with Ash?
I watched clips of it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Okay, so he talks a lot about what you're actually referencing here and what a massive asset it is to have a successful academy team for an organization, for all those points you just mentioned, bang on the money. But maybe we can get into that conversation when we have a round, and I guess a round like this not a bad option. But there's already moves being made. Na'Vi Junior, they're never idle. Oh, MOUZ, how did he turn and burn on Kenzie there? Able to find both the kills in the round so far, and Na'Vi Junior about to double up on their opponents and make it 6-3.
MOUZ or Kiyosuke? The age-old question right now at this tier of Counter-Strike, perhaps.
I don't know, man. Surely still Kiyosuke in my books.
Yeah, I think so too. Chat, type 1 for Kiyosuke, type 2 for MOUZ.
1 for Kiyosuke, 2 for MOUZ. Let's see what the people think. This is a democracy.
We'll get the final kill with MOUZ against Norvi as he tries to leap his way through that smoke. Norvi actually tried his best though and didn't do too badly to get 2 kills in that situation, but no more than that.
Feels like this is a really important gun round here for Aurora, because if they lose this round here in the 10th, 7-3, no money, feels like the half is getting out of control at that point. So pressure is on here. What do they change up? Do they fight fire with fire? Do they try and contest lane here? Maybe we haven't really seen that yet here from the CT side.
Well, here we go.
What's the change up here? Aurora trying to respond to what Na'Vi Junior have been doing throughout the half so far, and Na'Vi Junior bring a completely different look to the round.
And it's a FAMAS for Lucky against talented youngsters running his way. Is that going to work for you? I don't think it's going to work too often. Cemetery pulls out the AWP. And Klax gets removed. Lucky gets removed. Vegas led the way. They all followed. It wasn't even him to get any of the kills. He just opened it up by going in first. It was the right call. They didn't have a close CT member to defend. That one in Lucky towards Donut, and the rotation wasn't quick enough. And that is just something that can happen so often on Ancient. A site is very retakeable, but it's very retakeable when you're 5v5 with utility and kits. And when you've committed extra numbers toward mid or B, the reason they leave it open, but there's not really much chance to recover the round.
Yeah, of course, Nero released another banger last night where he spoke about which bomb sites were the easiest to hold and which bomb sites are the easiest to retake. Now, there aren't actually, the two are completely mutually exclusive. There aren't any bomb sites that are easy to hold and easy to retake, which just by definition does make sense. But Ancient's A bomb site is the 4th easiest site to hold in terms of buy versus buy rounds. So that is a little bit concerning for Aurora that Navi Jr. have just had such a... yeah, I'd say easy time of it here getting into A. Every time they've headed in that direction, they've been able to get full control.
Max will deal with the raid boss at mid this time though, stopping MOUZ from making his way through. Right click nade for Kenzie, and to break open a corner of that Jag smoke. Demon will creep forward unseen. Unseen by Kenzie. Jager's trying to make his way through the bottom of mid, and Klax will find Demon as well. They'll now know that he's there too, because that molly has been seen. Once, Aurora have a clean 5v3.
Yeah, but they've got to make sure they finish off the job from here. It is of utmost importance because they didn't even commit to the retake in the previous round to afford themselves full weapons here in the following. They have to justify that decision, especially now that they've got the 5v3. You don't really need to go searching here. They do, and Jugas is going to cost them. Punish them. Good kill found. Still some time to play with here in the round as well. Krabeni heads in towards this B bomb site. There's a crossfire set up right now, though.
The world, these sort of situations. Krabeni, can he enter his way through? Can Symmetry see Kenzie first? He can't. It's going to have to be down to Krabeni and to Jagus. And what can they do to even get the bomb planted? Because there's so much damage coming through the smoke. They will finally get it down. They actually got it down in the open in the end, but the spams were too much. There's Lucky, and there is Deco. Aurora finally get their 4th. And to answer the chat vote, I'm counting the ones right now. This is the vote for Kiyosuke. You've done it already for me?
5 ones and 5 twos. And I try to make sure I didn't double count any entries as well. So
someone did say Kiyosuke for sure without typing 1.
I know, I didn't count him because then he typed 1 twice afterwards as well. So he got 1 vote basically out of the 3 entries.
I see. Yes, I see it. There we go. I see you, Glotz.
Yeah,
trying to cheat the system
there. I told you this is a democracy. No double voting here, mate.
Interesting though, you know, we're watching Navi Jr. right now, so maybe there's some MOUZ fans in chat, but yeah.
There were 6 votes for MOUZ, but yeah, like you say, makes sense that there'd probably be more MOUZ fans in chat right now as all the team is currently playing. He's in the server and he's looking pretty good. Difficult to split the two though, which makes sense.
It is true, it is true. Jagus will open the round. I think I'm quite comfortable with Jagus right now because the guy in chat said J like DJ. So I'm gonna stick with that for a little bit and see how it feels. Kenzie deals with Demon. I think that might have been a wallbang straight through the wood, if I'm not mistaken, from Jag. I know Kenzie is a Jag player. You can see he moved his way forward now. So I think there's a good chance that was where that kill came through. But Deco's been destroyed by MOUZ, and they've got full control of Red Room, full control of CT. They can go through CT to the A bomb site. They only have to worry about the big flank of Klax, and Klax will get dealt with.
MOUZ just runs him over. He just wide swings, doesn't have no concern in the world. Oh man, last round of the half means of course Aurora will attempt the retake. They haven't attempted many retakes so far. In fact, the only one I can really remember was the pistol round where they did actually win the retake, but this is going to be more challenging here. And there was the other one where they 2v1'd, I guess, on the A bomb site, beating out Demon, but this one's going to be quite a handful as they make their way forward. There is a kit. They've actually dropped a smoke on the bomb, just try and sow some chaos into the round, but it's going to be a tap on the defuse to try and draw these players out. And, well, they do get 2 quick kills. No, he's found another, and the retake will come together.
I guess that's one thing we can be critical of for Navi Jr. then in this particular map thus far. They've had a couple of afterplants that I feel like they should have had on A, and they've let them slip. Aurora are going to get 5 on CT, which is a bit more than I thought they'd get at one point. Great retake from Kenzie and Norvi. Kenzie started it off with his 2 kills, and Norvi finished it off with his 2 kills.
Yeah, that's, I mean, 3 of the 5 rounds Aurora win, actually, by memory, were from retakes. So pretty good work coming through from them. They did in the pistol, and they do it twice on the A bomb site.
Yeah, there was a couple of clutches that could have come through for Navi Jr. as well that Aurora denied. One for Demon, one for Symmetry.
They kind of just grind their way through that half, right? It wasn't clean, but they do get 5 rounds, which is enough to feel like they can be competitive going into the second half. Oh, Makaze, he's committed in the cubby right now. Yeah, he's got to do his best to try and get out of this position, and he will make his way in towards top mid and actually draw the molly out as well. That's really nice. He's been able to force them to waste that piece of useful.
I like Makaze is giga aggressive, but at the same time, he does know when to fall back from a position like there, right? You could be forgiven for sitting there and thinking he can't get away. But he was allowed to get away, and he chose to do so, and he's still alive in this pistol. But for Aurora, we are pouncing toward A now, and as you can see, Navi Junior know what's up. They've got a couple of players around toward Donut already to try and duel this. It's a great first shot from Jagus, and Krabeni will help as well.
Oh,
and a double down from Jagus, make it a triple. It just is a complete wipeout before Aurora can even get the bomb planted.
And the key there for Navi Junior is even though they commit to the stack on the B bomb site, they don't sit by idly on the bomb site waiting and hoping Aurora come in that direction. They continue to just move their way forward slowly. As a unit, they take that space, they get the control, and then from there they realize there's no presence from the T sites. They get ahead of the game with that rotation. And Aurora, well, they're still trying to get onto the bomb site when they actually start getting pressured from middle. Really good shots being landed by Jugas as well. Krabeni gets in on the act, and that's a great way for Navi Junior to start off the second half.
Aurora say, screw it, we've got Glocks, we're running into A. They'll be allowed to plant this time. They're trying to throw it onto the site to get a plant, but Vegas is dealing with it nicely. Oh my goodness,
yum,
so
yum.
Clean on the taps, dude. This is why JL likes this guy. I remember I made my my Counter-Strike Olympics when the Olympics was on with all different national teams, and I was rightly criticised for not putting Jagus in my Lithuanian team. And I
How
can
could
see
you
why
not
now.
known a player that was basically on no one's radar at that point, Trav? Honestly.
I did know Navi Junior at the time, though. I just forgot about him, so...
Yeah, but I mean, they were still kind of on the up at that point. That was a good, what, like 4 or 5 months ago
yeah,
now?
How
long has the team actually been together?
You know what? I appreciate it. I'll keep myself in track.
Jagus joined 5 months ago, Trav, so there we go. I got you. Either way. Aurora, they have to win this round here. No two ways about it. They're going to run it back, try and go in towards A. But again, look at Navi Junior. We didn't see this once from Aurora on their CT side, taking full lane control at the start of the round, which gets them ahead of the game again. They know that they have to rotate towards A.
Oh, it has to be headshots. Snorvi takes Jagus. Makaze will get one back, but not more than one. But then it's the W key from Krabeni in toward that temple position. He does amazing work to get 2. Unfortunately for Navi Junior, Clax got 2 himself. And Cemetery has to clutch with an MP9 of his own. I appreciate this play from Aurora, and I appreciate the active rotate from Navi Junior. So ready for what was coming. So aggressive, knowing they had to be. But whether it works out for the round or not is another story. Cemetery looks for a better weapon. Finds a Famash, but hasn't got many bullets left, and now they know where he is toward the back of the site. Spoke onto the corner of when that bomb is planted, but how do you win both duels with an MP9 from here?
Hope and pray.
He's going to try and hold it. Goodness
oh my
gracious
goodness.
me.
Yeah,
that was way too close.
I don't know if there were any bullets left in the magazine there for Lackey. If he doesn't connect on that last shot there, Cemetery may actually have been able to stick the defuse with 2 players left alive. Oh man, good work there from Lackey to close the gap though and get right up close to the smoke. Obviously narrows the area with which you have to spray down there, makes it a lot easier to find that player who's sticking the defuse, and that's going to be a really important gun round going the way of Aurora.
Oh man, that was genuinely doable for a split second. The fact that they saw kind of where he got onto the defuse and still almost whiffed it, terrifying. Like he recovers it with, I think, the last 3 bullets in the AK, like you say. So, first kill of round 16 comes through for Krabeni, and that might once again force Aurora in toward A. The flash is excellent, and Jagus was on an island there. It's only Makaze now in toward Donut. He's going to be naded off, mollied off, smoked off. What can he really do from here now? Thankfully, again, full rotation very, very quickly. But Deco and Clax have found a couple of kills. Brings it back into a 3v2 for them. Took a lot of damage. Demon is still alive here, jiggling his way back and forth, but just can't complete it. And Deco will find that one as well. And right now, Aurora seem to have descended into Navi Junior's level of brawling their way through these rounds.
And it's working well for them in these past 2 rounds as well. They're going to break that economy of the CT side. Able to just kind of link up arm in arm here. Other T players are grouping up, right? Pack-based mentality. Apes together strong. And, well, it's worked out for them. Did feel like, yeah, that flashbang there to Dispatch of Jugas was incredible because he didn't even see it pop up on his screen. He just ate that. And that allows for Aurora to just sprawl all over A. And that's after Kripeni got the opening pick, by the way. So good work coming through from Aurora. A good clean up here against the Eco as well.
Yeah, I love the calling from both these two teams in this game. It's been a fast Ancient, hasn't it?
Very much so.
Not been many late round situations at all in this one, actually. 1 or 2 clutch attempts, that's about it. A couple of retakes on the previous half. They've all been speedy. I do wonder whether Aurora could now have conditioned Navi Jr. to worry so much about A that they could do the same sort of call, get the over-rotation, and then just walk 2 players into B.
Well, it looks like they're going to condition them a little bit more here as they want to try to go back into A once again. This time, though, Navi Jr. do have 2 players on the bomb site and a quick rotation coming through as well. Lots of damage done to the smoke. Flashes are very good. Kills will now start to break out MOUZ there. He doubles down, might add a 3rd, no, but damage inflicted enough for Symmetry to slot into position and finish off the round. Now I think Aurora are going to have to reassess.
Yeah, leave A alone for a couple of rounds, perhaps. You can feel it out. You can put a few players in main, maybe take a duel or 2, but focus more on a default mid and B, I would say. Take Jag, slow, take Blaine, etc., etc. That was Navi Jr. very much being ahead of the game. They were ahead of the game and ahead of the call for Aurora. It seemed like they knew what Aurora were doing before Aurora did. A number of rounds, but that's the first one that worked out for them as a win. Won't make that jump, I'm afraid, but doesn't matter. Flash his way in toward lane, and they might try and fight and put a few bullets through that smoke. And Jaeger has dealt with Lackey immediately. And once again, they tried to fight for mid this time, but they're forced into A. It's the only correct choice.
Yeah, probably a lot earlier than what they would have liked as well. They would have wanted those 2 other players to have some impact before they commit to this play. Very good kill coming through from Norway. Needs more, though. Steps straight into the crosshair of MOUZ. He just rules Donut as he continues to eat Aurora up. He's gotten so many kills from this part of the map, more damage inflicted on Clax as well. Deco's had to go searching, and he gets an important frag back, but still a disadvantage here for Aurora in the post plants. And their positions, they're on top of each other. This is so awkward.
It is, but Makaze's 11 HP. Jaeger's waiting in toward Donut. There is a smoke available to cross, but it's not onto the bomb, as you can see. That bomb is very much exposed. That could actually be the disaster for Navi Jr. in this round. Jaeger is out of ammunition. I think this one's falling apart here, I'm afraid. 6 bullets to fight Deco. Tap on the bomb. They know, as I said, the smoke wasn't on it correctly, and Deco is going to finish it all off.
That's the first round I think we've seen Navi Jr. look very rough around the edges. Like, that smoke completely missed the mark, and like you say, actually gives Aurora way more room to maneuver as well. And just quite a few individual fights being taken after they get the advantage in the round as well. Very good work from Aurora in the post plants, and Deco in particular to lock it down. Navi Jr., that was an opportunity. I'd say they win the map if they win that round. Now it's completely open-ended once again because they've got no money.
Yeah, that is, I would say, accurately described. It finally looked like an academy team in that round. Took a while. What an active and aggressive style they have. So fun to watch. A lot of credit has to go to their coach as well. I think is it Coolio? I'm pretty sure it's Coolio. We double check that.
Yeah, I think so. The old Hungarian player.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Aurora just going to continue with this pack-based mentality. It's all 5 players grouped up heading in towards this B-bomb site. Kenzie leads the charge. It's just pistols on the other side, so not going to be a huge contest here for them. They'll just take full control and level up the scoreline in the process.
And nice for Kenzie. One more try to the tally, and Clax should do the same. Clean for Clax. He has quietly made his way up to a very respectable KD here, 16 to 11. And we're back even at 10 apiece. Will Aurora be slightly annoyed they've used their fast B burst on a full eco? I don't know. Always do it again, just like they've gone toward A multiple times in a row, but just a thought. It is Coolio, by the way, as I remembered.
Yeah, thought so. Here we go, 10-all. We started this map 40 minutes ago, and we're already close to having played the full set of regulation.
Yeah.
Speaks volumes to how fast-paced all of these rounds have been from both of the teams, and it's going to be more aggression and more gunfights breaking out in towards middle, favoring the T side at least initially until Krebeni gets in on the act as well. And even though it's a 3 versus 3, Norway is very low in symmetry. Well, he's in towards mid right now, exactly where Norway is headed, and he'll collect the kill.
It's those can go awry when you shift into the angle, but that one won't. Fax leaps in through B doors. Demon is there ready and waiting. Team Junior will keep Aurora at bay here. Aurora have built their way back into this series, but am I right in saying they haven't been ahead for a long time?
I think it may only have been the first pistol round where they've had the lead.
That's what I thought.
I'm pretty sure they haven't had the lead since then. I don't think Deco is going to be able to get them the lead here either. 1 versus 3 time ticking away, hoping that somebody peeks him, hoping that something gets offered up, but Navi Jr. just remain rooted in position. If he can get the kill here on Demon, then he's certainly got a chance in the round. It's maybe a difficult angle to clear, and there we go. As he steps into the crosshair, he comes off second best, and Navi Jr. regain the lead.
If I'm reading the HLTV scoreboard correctly, it was just the pistol round. That's the only time they were ever ahead.
And they were denied here once again. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Impressive performance from Navi Jr. Aurora will be using their second tack at the right time as well. We've only really seen 1 or 2 real messy rounds from Navi Jr. And that's not only impressive for an academy team, but impressive considering their style of play, which can lend itself to some wild situations sometimes.
Yeah, it's true.
We've had like 1 scuffed after plant where they kind of got retaken 3v2, and 1 bad retake, both on A.
Which you would expect from an academy team. There's certainly going to be rounds where they do look a little rough, and there can be some improvements to be made. That's why every team, but especially an academy team where they lack that experience kind of thing. But it's been a very volatile approach, and so the fact that they have remained as consistent as they have with that volatile approach is really impressive either way. Doesn't look like Aurora are keen to slow down the pace of the game.
Krebeni's nades, with the help of Makaze's damage, will deal with Norvi straight away, but Checkers will be annoyed about that one. That is him shifting toward the corner of the smoke to try and maybe get a line towards Shelf, but just gets destroyed straight through it with a Galil from Klax from behind that position. Makaze is going to try and fight for that. Oh, the flash is so good. What a flash that could prove to be. Makaze stays alive somehow, and actually he's called over support. So maybe he won't stay alive that much longer, and in the end, they pause, make sure they pinch together, and it works beautifully.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. That's so impressive, because even Krebeni from Jaguar comes through to help out there and towards middle, but that does mean some space over towards the B-bomb side. It's exactly what Aurora have realized. If there's 2 players middle, then there can be only 1 over towards the side of the map, and they've brought it back into an even numbers game until some Symmetry gets that frag, and that's going to be now pressuring the back lines as he's coming through from behind.
I'll say 4 bullets, has to go for a reload. Does that force Lackey forward? Should get the kill? Does get the kill. 2v2, this is the all-important one though. Deco versus Symmetry, and even though he's a lot lower health, that is the Academy team power. Pure headshots, pure wide swings, pure aim duels. And
pure
it's Navi Jr. Exactly. And it's Navi Jr. to get themselves to map point.
They're a very fun team to watch, I'll tell you that much. And I mean, this isn't how Aurora normally plays Counter-Strike, right? They're normally more calculated, more methodical. They definitely do have an aggressive streak, especially with someone like Kenzie. He loves himself a gun duel, but it's normally a little bit more methodical than what we're seeing right now. And I feel like they're just trying to go toe-to-toe with Navi Jr. And that could be a problem here, because this is where Navi Jr. do their best work. They were molded by the style of Counter-Strike. So you're now playing to their strengths. It's getting scrappy, and that's evidently, like I said, where they're happy to be. Yep. You know, they're FPL players, they're young, they want to always have something going on, right? So feel like Aurora have kind of missed a trick by committing to the style and maybe not just slowing it down and trying to frustrate Navi Junior a little bit more, try and punish those aggressive plays, because we know they've been playing an active CT side. We know they're going to fight for middle and lane control. So just get the AWP on deco, post on an angle, wait for them to peek and swing. You know they're gonna.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy how good these kids can be. Demon was born the year I started playing Club Penguin, 3 months after. 2007. Yeah.
Yeah, I know my boy. I know Club Penguin, his dates. I got the profile. Either way. Man advantage here for Navi Junior. Symmetry in a very good position with the AK as well. They come streaming in. Tlax tries to jump across the angles so that his teammate can guarantee the trade, but it's not going to happen. Symmetry's found both, and the end is now nigh here on Ancient.
Deco needs a 1 versus 4. Navi Junior have shown their mettle here. At the end of the game that got a lot closer, but they didn't change from their game plan. They continued aggressive, they continued assertive, and it works for them. Map 1 to Navi Junior over Aurora, and you know what? They thoroughly deserve that. A couple of blips, happens to everyone, but they recovered after those blips incredibly well.
Yeah, and they were in the lead for pretty much the entirety of the map, in control. And even when it was on a knife's edge, it still didn't feel like Navi Junior ever crumbled. They never went into a shell when the game got close. That's so important as well. They continued to stick to the game plan, regardless of what was happening. They had faith, and at the end of the day, it works out 13-10. But it never really, even though the scoreline was close, it never really felt like Navi Junior were in jeopardy of losing that map.
No, you're right. And, of course, Spirit Academy also, they lost in the earlier stages of the bracket, right? And the rankings right now between those two, Spirit Academy 41, Navi Junior 46. If Navi Junior make the final, there's a chance they jump ahead of them. They could then be considered the best academy team in the world, right? So there's a little bit of a mini battle going on there between them. It's been a bit of a grudge match over the course of the year in some of the bigger matches that they've played against each other, right? Especially that ESEA Advanced Grand Final. So it's a fun little battle to look at and sort of consider, but so is this series. And of course, even though that first map came through for Navi Junior, it is not over. Mirage is up next. Can't wait for that. If we get the same sort of style of Counter-Strike as we just saw here, we'll see if that's the case after the break.
You look into your inventory and there's only... It's time to forget about this garbage. Here you will find everything to play with really cool skins. Open top cases. Upgrade dropped skins and turn your junk into a cool gun using the contract system. Every day, thousands of people upgrade their inventory with us. Hellcase.com. Look at yourself in a new way.
And I'm getting hotter too. Talking top 2, I'm not a 2. You let the pressure bother you, and I do what I gotta do. Let's go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard. They ain't coming close to me. Flow is on atomic. I'm starting fires through poetry. The hardest out. Staying loyal, no falling out. And if you step into the court, be ready. We balling out. Yeah. The coldest of teams, they know what we bring. Don't try us. They know in between. We go for these dreams in silence. Hard work, don't mistake it for magic. We've been shooting in the gym. This is target in practice. Yeah. And I'm just getting started, getting feet wet. It's all in repetition, ain't a secret. All facts, all black dress code. Pay me my respect, collecting every debt. Oh, the hardest. I bring the pain. Not what you used to. It's all part of the game. Yeah, I just gotta go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard.
Fight!